the United States Supreme Court has temporarily blocked a lower court's decision that had said that mifepristone, commonly referred to as the abortion pill, could not be delivered via mail to patients. But now, at least temporarily, it can. What does this mean? What is this about? And what's next? Hey, what up there, Forward Up Newsies? I'm Skylar the Writer. So glad to be here with you. And yeah, so on Monday, May 4th, may the 4th be with you, the Supreme Court, the United States Supreme Court, overturned a lower court's ruling that said that mifepristone, again commonly referred to as the abortion pill, could not be delivered to patients through the mail, and that patients would have to physically go to a pharmacy in person to pick up said prescription. Now, why is this an issue? And I think there's a whole, follow me, join me as I go down this rabbit hole a little bit. So, after the overturning of Roe v. Wade that had made abortion legal throughout the entire United States, a few years ago that was overturned, and now all these different states have had to make up their own abortion laws. Some of these states have very strict laws, like Texas, Georgia, Florida. Some states say that you have to get an abortion within the first 6 weeks of a pregnancy, which is often a time that many women don't even know that they're pregnant. Other states are trying to ban it out altogether. And then there's other states that have, voted on it, and their lawmakers have made it legal to say that no, abortion is legal in our state. Now, here's where the whole mail thing gets kind of tricky, using it by U.S. mail. Even before Roe v. Wade, you can get mifepristone via mail, right? So if you went to a doctor or found a doctor online, or you did like telehealth, like let's say you live in a rural area where going to the doctor in person or going to an abortion clinic in person might not be feasible for you, what you could do is you could get that prescription filled online or delivered through online to your house, right? So you talk to your doctor through telehealth, you say you want an abortion, and they say, okay, you're only so many weeks along, so it's still within the possibility for you to do this via just the drug, because some earlier term abortions can be done through pills. Later term, like further along in the pregnancy, you would have to go get the physical procedure done. When all these states started saying that women couldn't get abortions, or that the laws got more restrictive, a lot of women were turning to the online pharmacies or getting mifepristone sent to them via mail, right? And the Republicans and the anti-choice folks, I don't even want to say just Republicans, but the anti-choice people don't like that, right? Because technically speaking, if you live in a state that has, let's say, a 6-week abortion ban, so anything after 6 weeks, you can't, have a pregnancy terminated. But if you are 8 weeks or 10 weeks or whatever, you could theoretically go online or do telehealth or whatever and get that prescription filled and mailed to you, even though you live in a state that says 6 weeks is the cutoff, or that, or somehow lower, right? And so there was this lawsuit that was brought up to stop that. The lawsuit said that women or people who can get pregnant had to go in person to pick up their prescription. Now, my theory is, going after mifepristone has proven a little tougher for anti-choice people than maybe they would have liked. So rather than going only for a straight ban on mifepristone, they're also including going this other route, saying, oh, if you want to get it, you have to go to a pharmacy and pick it up in person. That would create such an impediment that a lot of women would not be able to get the reproductive care that they need, because they can't physically, for one reason or another, go to a pharmacy, right? So like let's say you live in a rural area, and the nearest abortion clinic or pharmacy even is like super far away, or you don't have transportation, or you live in a state again that doesn't offer or doesn't allow for you to go get an abortion after a certain amount of time. Having to go into the pharmacy in person is is a hindrance, right? You might have to take off of work, or even if you have to go to another state that does allow abortions at a later time than 6 weeks, you would have to take off of work. You would have to, if you already have kids, you have to find somebody to take care of your kids. You would also have to pay the cost of travel, right? So you might have to pay for a plane ticket, hotel lodgings, or drive somewhere to a neighboring state. Considering how high gas prices are now, that's even more of a burden. So, it will make it harder. And my theory is that any choice people want to do that so that you don't get the abortion, that you don't get the reproductive care that you need and deserve. They want to force women and people who can get pregnant to continue to have more babies. And let's be real, they want more white babies, right? The United States is projected to become a majority minority country in not that much time, maybe just a few years to a few decades. So they want more babies, right? And they, but particular, want more white babies because they're afraid of the white population decreasing. Now, that's my own theory. If you disagree, let us know down in the comments, whatever. But so the Supreme Court has now, on Monday, May 4th, they didn't quite overturn it, but they put in a stay saying that Mifepristone, the decision of a lower court has been stayed until the Supreme Court can review, the case and come to an actual decision, so that for right now, you can still get Mifepristone as you could before that initial lower court ruling. So for right now, as of May 4th, 2026, women and people who can get pregnant can still obtain Mifepristone through the mail as they have always been. So that's for now, right? So that's what the meat of that is. What happens next is going to just be, the Supreme Court's going to have to officially weigh in, like for real. No more of this just just a stay or a temporary decision. Now, the chances of the Supreme Court, the same Supreme Court that overturned Roe v. Wade, the chances of them keeping Mifepristone available is questionable, right? Now, clearly, there were enough justices on the court for this temporary ruling. And the court, as we know, is 6-3, 6 conservative justices, 3 more liberal justices. I don't know if any of those justices would label themselves as progressive. That'd be an interesting question. But, the current makeup of the court, it wasn't unanimous by any means, but the current makeup of the court said, okay, let's let Mifepristone still be available through the mail. Will that same court with that same makeup rule in favor of keeping Mifepristone available? We just have to wait and see. My personal opinion, I hope that they do. We need to codify abortion into law. It's a shame and an embarrassment for this country that it hasn't been up until this time. But yeah, that's where we stand now. Mifepristone, again, commonly referred to as the abortion pill, is for now, as of May 4th, 2026, still available via mail. Okay, so now that we've given you the news to help move you forward, let's get into some action items that you can use to help lift you and your communities up. Okay, so we're going to talk about 2 organizations that help women and people who can get pregnant obtain the reproductive services that they need, and how you can help support these organizations. So the first up is the Bridget Alliance. I don't know if it's pronounced Bridget or Brigitte. We're going to call it the Bridget Alliance. So the Bridget Alliance is an organization that helps connect patients to abortion care services. As you see here on their their homepage over at bridgetalliance.org, they say, we get people to abortion care, whatever it takes. So it talks here about, for many Americans, the costs and logistical challenges of getting an abortion provider are primary barriers to access. And we talked about this earlier, right? If you don't have the funds to travel out of state for an abortion, or you live somewhere where you don't have easy access, you don't have a vehicle, the pharmacist or the abortion clinic might be far away if you live in a rural area, things like that, right? So what the Bridget Alliance does is book, coordinate, and even help pay for different things to help women and pregnant people get the abortion care they need. They help with travel expenses, child care, all of those things, because if you have to take off of work to get an abortion, to go out of state, if you have to go out of state to get an abortion, if you have to find a babysitter, someone to watch your children, if you already have children, while you go out of state to get an abortion, like there's so many things and costs in addition to the cost of the procedures themselves and the medication themselves. It's a lot to factor into that decision. They also have opportunities for you to give to the organization. So if you want to help donate to help keep the program going, again, they help provide and coordinate abortion care services to help women get to the appointment, travel if they need to get to the appointment, help pay for them so that they can still make rent, basically, so they don't have to lose out on pay or at least as much pay when they have to take off of work to go out of state to get the procedure done. So all of that takes money and resources, and you can help support the Bridget Alliance by donating to the organization to help keep it afloat, right? You can host an event to help fundraise for the Bridget Alliance, all of these things, right? So visit thebridgetalliance.org for more information, both if you or someone needs reproductive care services, abortion care services, or if you just want to help support the organization. Another organization you can support is the Roe Fund. The Roe Fund is an organization that helps support abortion access for all, right? So some of the things that they do is they help connect women and pregnant people to care. They also help support abortion education, again, abortion access for people across the United States, including help with out-of-state travel when abortion services are restricted or unavailable in your home state. So again, the Roe Fund, another great organization that provides assistance to women and pregnant people needing abortion care services, even if they need to travel out of their home state to get it. So check them out at rofund.org. And yeah. All right, newsies, that's all I have for you right now. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, all of that jazz. Please drop us a comment down below. And, and also don't forget you can follow both me and the show on social media. We'd love to chat with you, get your perspective, all of that stuff. So follow us on the socials, like, subscribe, share, comment, all of that good jazz. And, after that, check out one of our other videos where we're talking about different issues and giving you the news to move you forward and the action items to help lift you and your communities up. Until next time, newsies, peace.
You been in space?
No, motherfucker, we got bills and